What's going on, everyone? Game 2 is today, and I cannot wait. I am so excited, so anxious for this game to start, as I'm sure most, if not all of you, are as well. Lakers stole game 1. That was beautiful. That was brilliant. And we even had the little scare at the end, which I actually am glad that happened. Obviously, in the moment, you're kind of like, no, please don't let this happen. You guys have been dominating the whole game. You need to stay with it. But they ended up pulling out the win, even after a historic night from Golden State. Golden State absolutely shot the lights out, made 21 threes on 40% shooting. And that's something that is really bizarre, that's not anything that the media is talking about, which just makes no sense to me. Like, everyone still has the Golden State Warriors beating the Lakers, but I haven't seen one valid argument as to why. Everyone's like, oh, the Warriors would just make adjustments. They're the Warriors. They're kind of just going off of the name rather than like what they actually saw in game 1, and just made no reference to any of the things that the Warriors did successfully and still lost. This was the first time that Klay Thompson and Steph Curry scored 20 or more points at home and lost. This is the first time that 3 guys made 6 or more threes and lost. The Warriors shot 21 or made 21 threes on 53 attempts, could do nothing in the interior, had no answer for anything that the Lakers did. The guards got their way, just like I said they would. Anthony Davis dominated, just like everyone knew he would. LeBron didn't have the best game. The Lakers didn't even really have their best game. They started 1 of 8 from the field and looked sloppy on several occasions in this game. And the Warriors had a historic night, literally a historic night, shot the lights out, and they still lost. Right? And I'm not saying like, oh, the series is over or anything like that yet. But if the Lakers win game 2, pack it up, you're done. Put a fork in it, you're done. Because the Lakers are not going to lose both games in LA. Right? The Lakers at worst lose 1 game in LA. And if that happens, then you're up 3-1. Worst case scenario, you're up 3-1. Best case scenario, the series is over. You sweep the Warriors, and now you got like a week's rest, which the Lakers very well might need to do in order to match up with the Denver Nuggets, because Denver's probably going to run through the Phoenix Suns. And as crazy as it sounds, even the thought of like the Lakers sweeping the defending champion Golden State Warriors, it's not really that bizarre. They already won game 1. The Lakers, if they win game 2, that is very likely the scenario. The Warriors are not a good road team. I know they won 2 in Sacramento. Sacramento is not this Lakers team, for 1. And 2, Sacramento is not Crypto Arena with those fans. I mean, go watch the home games. It was insane. I mean, even the Warriors game, in my live stream where I watched the game live with you guys, like, I even made a point of like, man, Golden State is really quiet. Like, they aren't really cheering on. And the game was close. It was a tight game. And, like, the fans just weren't in it. And I was just like, they're playing more, the fans seem more lethargic than the players do. Like, what is going on here? And so I don't see a scenario where if the Lakers win this game, that the Warriors find a way to come back. Right? And I feel like a lot of it is just the name of the Warriors. You have all this media and you have all these fans that are like, well, the Warriors have always done this. Like, this is what they do. And, I've had people, comparing, well, the Warriors lost the first 2 games of the Kings. Yeah, that was in Sacramento. Right? Like, that wasn't in Golden State. And the Lakers have proven on several occasions now in the regular season and here in the playoffs that, 1, they can beat them. They are now 4-1 on the year against them. And they've beaten them several times in Golden State. So they've shown the ability to win in Golden State, which not many teams were able to do this year. The Lakers also beat the best home team in the league in Memphis Grizzlies in Memphis. So the Lakers have proven that home court doesn't mean anything to them. That they can easily go into their home court and beat you. And no one's been able to beat the Lakers in LA. Granted, it was just Memphis, but still, Memphis was the number 2 seed. They were a really good team, but they were bad on the road, just like the Warriors. The Lakers' defense is absolutely swarming, right? The Lakers in game one got everything that they wanted. Everything. And the Warriors really struggled. If they didn't shoot the lights out, the Lakers win that game by 30, right? Like if they shoot 35%, 36%, which on 53 threes is still a really good percentage. If they ended up shooting that, they lose this game by like 30. No joke. The Lakers started 1 of 8, and afterwards at halftime, they were winning the game. And it was like, whoa, like that's not good for the Warriors. Like, are the Warriors going to shoot that well for 4 straight games? I just don't see it, right? Like, what adjustments are the Warriors going to be able to make to stop all of the Lakers' weapons? In my opinion, this game 2 is going to boil down to the Lakers. Do the Lakers show the urgency? Do the Lakers show up, lock in, hit shots, and take over this game? Right? Because I don't see the Warriors shooting as well as they did in game 1. I just don't. Again, they shot 40% from 3 and made 21 of them. For perspective, the Boston Celtics made 23s or something like that, 21 threes yesterday, and won that game by like 40 or 30 something, right? Like, that's the difference. But the Warriors can't stop the Lakers, and I don't see that changing. Yes, the Warriors are absolutely going to make adjustments. And I'm not saying that the Lakers are going to sweep them. The Lakers very likely are going to lose game 2. It's very possible. I, again, in the beginning of this series, said that I thought that this series would go exactly how the Memphis Grizzlies series would go, which if I'm right, then that means they lose game 2. I could be wrong, though, and the Lakers could win this game. After seeing game 1, I have real confidence that they can go in and win game 2. Sometimes there's just bad matchups. Matchups are a real thing in the NBA. And a lot of people are looking at this and going, man, it's the Golden State Warriors. You know, Golden State, they've been this, they've been that. Yeah. And LeBron James, without Kevin Durant, has essentially dominated this matchup. And he didn't even have a great game, right? And our defense was swarming. Anthony Davis was an absolute monster. They have no answer for AD, right? Like, I get it that they have this name. They're the defending champions. They're the greatest. But teams lose. It happens, right? Like, teams lose. It's how it goes. Eventually, your run is going to end. Every dynasty lost at some point, right? Every team lost at some point. And the Warriors just ran into probably the only team that just is a huge mismatch for them. I mean, if they played Denver, I think that they could beat Denver. Just like I think the Lakers can beat Denver. If they played Phoenix, I think they'd run through Phoenix. If they would have played the Memphis Grizzlies, I think Memphis would have given them some fits, would have given them some trouble. But I think that their inexperience would have been a lot like the Sacramento Kings, and I think they would have won that. It's the same reason why I picked the Warriors to beat Boston in the NBA Finals. I was like, Boston, yes, they match up brilliantly to the Warriors, but their lack of experience and the way that they play is not a formula for major success. And for example, if you're wondering, like, what are you talking about? Go watch game 1 of Boston versus Philly, and that'll tell you everything you need to know. Go watch the last, 3 minutes of that game, and that'll tell you everything you need to know. This game, Boston shot the lights out, and they won. Okay, the Warriors did the same thing, and they lost. I picked the Warriors to win 2 games because I figured the Lakers will have a bad game, and the Warriors will have a game where they shoot the lights out, and the Lakers lose. The Warriors shot the lights out, and the Lakers won that game. So there's one of the games that I thought that they would lose that they actually won. So is that going to happen again? I don't know. I don't know if it can. Not to that level. That was, again, historic. So the only way, in my opinion, that the Lakers lose is if they just failed to show up. Anthony Davis has a 15-16 game or something like that. And, LeBron has a bad game. It's just one of those games, right? Like a game 2 or game 5 in the Memphis series, right? If they just play their game, if the Lakers play their game, they win this series And I wouldn't be shocked at all if it's 4 or 5. Because, again, matchups are a real thing. And this is the one team that the Warriors probably didn't want to play because of Anthony Davis. Because LeBron James knows this team so well. And he's able to make adjustments and call things out on the fly. And you have a coach in real time. I mean, they talked about it in the post game. And LeBron was talking about how, like, it's great, Darvin Ham is awesome, and, he allows me and Anthony Davis to have the freedom to call things out and kind of be an extension of the coach. Because LeBron James knows this team better than the coach does. And look, Darvin Ham was great in that game. Great. He was fantastic. He had about as perfect of a game as you can have against the Warriors. And Lakers, don't get me wrong, they're going to have to make adjustments. Warriors are going to make adjustments, right? Warriors could run zone again. That's very possible. We saw a glimpse of some of those adjustments that I expect the Warriors to make at the end of game 1, and it kind of just threw us for a loop. The difference is that now we can prepare for that. Now we know, okay, like, if they run zone, we got to attack the zone. Like, don't just, bail them out by jacking up threes, which we did have some good looks, right? Yeah, D'Lo had a wide open look in the corner. AD had a wide open look in the corner. LeBron had like a wide open 3. Reeves had one that he missed. So it wasn't like we took these terrible shots. We just didn't make them. That's all it was. But Warriors are definitely going to come out. They're going to be a team back against the wall. Same thing I said about Memphis in game 2. Warriors know, just like everyone else, that, hey, if the Lakers win this series, it's over. So you're going to have a very desperate, very hungry, level type Warrior team that is going to try to do everything they can to win this game. But they've played a lot of basketball over the years. They're older. They're tired. They just came off of a grueling 7-game series against the Sacramento Kings, who were running them rampant. And now they're playing a Laker team, and the only way that they can beat this Laker team is to try to outrun them, which Memphis tried to do, and the Lakers just made the adjustment, right? And Memphis was the number 1 team in the league in that. And pace, transition, all of that. Lakers are number 1 in the playoffs. So the Lakers can play that way too. Warriors, also another thing to keep in mind that I completely forgot to mention. I mentioned it in my post-game video, but I should mention in this video too, the Warriors only had 8 turnovers. 8 turnovers. And for somebody that's watching this video that's not familiar, the Warriors led the league in turnovers with 16.2 per game. So they actually took care of the ball that game. The Warriors played about as perfect of a game as you could play. Steph had 27, got hot late. Klay got hot early. Jordan Poole had the best game he's had in these playoffs so far. The Warriors made 21 threes on 53 attempts, shot 40% from 3. So they shot the lights out and still lost the game. All of the problems that the Warriors had, they didn't have in that game, and they still lost. That's a game that 99.99999% of the time, they win. Again, the Warriors had never lost in Golden State when Steph and Klay both scored 20, and they lost. No team had lost a game when 3 guys made 6+ threes, and they lost. If the Lakers show up in game 2, have the intensity, go in there and say, hey, we're going to win this game, Lakers are going to win today. So, that's just something to keep in mind. Don't be shocked if the Lakers win game 2. Again, I wouldn't bet on it, but don't be surprised. And if they win game 2, that's it. The Warriors are done. The Warriors are done. I do not see a scenario where the Warriors win both games in LA. Maybe they win one. I don't know if they can do that. I don't. The Warriors, I could see, I know they're veteran. I know they're championship contender, they just won the championship DNA, all of that stuff. But even those teams get deflated. Even those, Steph looked, lethargic out there at times. He looked deflated at times, right? That was something that the media pointed out. They lose game 2. You could see basically buried Warriors team in game 3. So just something to keep in mind. But anyway, Again, as always, this is a discussion, so I pass the question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? Think the Lakers steal game 2? Do you think no? Be 1-1 going back to LA? How do you feel? Whatever your thoughts are, let me know.